had a great soft open there for a
We
sec.
did, but now it's a hard open.
You guys are forever going to miss out on us dancing to Feels Good by Tony Tone.
I think you're not missing much.
We'll do it for our 100,000 subscriber party, which is coming up, by the way. We're real close.
Real close. Anyways, guys, what's
This is
good?
not the podcast.
This isn't. It's a change of pace today, right?
No.
This is different for
We
us.
just watched some fun shit, and we're going to talk about only that.
Yeah.
And,
So, hey, it's Noah from the Geek Week podcast.
Yeah.
Not doing the Geek Week podcast.
Hello.
Joined with Dr. Usif.
Yo, before we get to and transition this, can I see your lighter so I can smoke weed?
You may.
Nice.
You may, sir.
Sweet.
Let it be known I do not smoke weed.
No, never.
Disclaimer.
Never.
Disclaimer.
Not once in his life.
Disclaimer.
Not even before.
Demonetize.
No,
yeah, guys.
We're forever demonetized, man. I don't know. I don't know if our viewers are as interested in the YouTube algorithm as I am, being a creator now. But I was interested beforehand, and I don't know if you know how things are now. But if we say fuck, we're demonetized.
Yeah, it's tough.
Too early in the video. So like I said fuck, and yep.
It's rough going.
Yeah.
But guess what, guys? Today we're going to talk about what I promised. We're going to talk about. I loved the book. Loved reading the series. It was a long series, but loved reading it by Robert Kirkman, who once I've said before, also creator of The Walking Dead. Are you a big Walking Dead guy? I was never a big Walking Dead guy.
I loved it when what's his fucking name was in it? The first 3 seasons, the bad guy that's in Wolf of Wall Street.
Didn't watch.
All right, well, you've seen Wolf of Wall Street. He's the Quaalude dealer in Wolf of Wall Street. I forget his name.
Don't remember.
He's like he's like a really fucking dope person. He's
Yeah.
just like he was like a former skateboarder in LA and shit, and hung out
that's
with all these
cool.
famous guys. But like his role, he's a much better actor than anyone else in that show, I think. And the reason he got killed off in the show is because he landed like 5 huge fucking movie deals.
Huh.
And he's the Punisher, the fucking Punisher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't remember that was who that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's amazing. He
Well-
was in Walking Dead for a couple seasons, and I think once he got taken out of the show, there was really not a good antagonist for the show. And I watched a whole season, and it was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Well,
So-
Robert Kirkman has done other things.
yeah. No, I mean, the writing
He
was
had-
good for a while on that show.
Had one of my favorite runs on the Fantastic Four, as I've said before.
Dude, Invincible, as a guy that has not read the comic book
I was just about to ask that.
Very good.
How'd you feel?
Very good. You want I'll give a quick,
Yeah, because
My opinion.
Drew, disclaimer here, Drew has not read Invincible.
yeah.
I have, but I'd like to hear, because we just watched the first 3 episodes that they dropped, which we're going to review for you.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear what you thought of it without knowing anything about it.
I'll just start with episode 1 because then we can just get into the rest of the meat and potatoes. But like I
Episode
think
1.
episode 1 is a really good like indicator for how the show's gonna go, the rest of the show, and like what this show's about, and like what they're willing to say and what they're willing to show, which is pretty much fucking everything, which is awesome
Yeah.
because that's just I don't know if anyone's watched long enough to understand what I like to see, but it's not
Cookie cutter.
watered down shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that at all.
Mhm.
And this show is very out of the box, which is cool. And you think it's kind of inside the box. I mean, it's really obvious, literally from like the first 30 seconds of the show, that it's better written than any cartoon I've ever watched of superheroes, because this weird conversation these 2 security guards are having about their kids and shit.
Yeah.
And it gets really fucking deep.
Yeah, okay, so let's start
And
with
then
that.
shit hits the fan all of a
Because
sudden. And it's a superhero show.
That
But like,
was put in for the show. That is not in the comic book. The comic book just...
I think they did that to show, like, look at what
Give you the
our
tone,
writing is.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, we're thinking about our backstories a lot more than usual.
For those of you that don't know, before we really dive into episode 1, 2, and 3, let me just give a quick synopsis of what Invincible is. Invincible is almost a trope on all of the quirky, like, superhero tropes.
Yeah.
Within itself being a great comic book.
But with actual realism mixed in. Which is,
within
that's the
itself,
good part
it's
to
a
me.
great
Yeah.
comic book, and it's a great story within
Yeah.
itself. But at the same time, it almost pokes fun in like a cynical kind of way at all of the tropes that exist within superhero
Yeah.
culture, if you will.
Well, my favorite. Okay, so we'll get into. We'll get into the end of episode 1, which is
Oh no, you can't. You want to go to the end right now?
yeah, because I want to talk about my favorite trope that they poke fun.
No, let's wait. Let's wait.
All
Let's
right.
wait. Let's
Well,
just
okay, so I'll talk about my favorite trope that they poke fun at then, which is that you never see anyone fucking die ever in any superhero show
okay.
ever.
We will get to that, but yeah, we saw that. We saw that. And first of all, I just love how they've been doing it. Like the post credit scene, awesome. But let me just start by saying the story starts different because the comic book starts with Mark just being it's 4 months. I think pretty sure it starts about 4 or 5 months.
I saw you taking notes on all this shit.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add here.
Starts about 4 or 5 months prior to the present day, and it's where we get to when you see Mark not having powers, being a regular dude, and
I thought it was gonna go like I still can't remember the name of the show. It's a Disney Channel movie.
Oh, dude, we gotta look that up.
I thought that was gonna be the thing.
I know exactly what Disney.
I really
Channel
thought
movie.
we were gonna get a couple episodes of him like not having his powers, and
but
just
that is
kind of
that is kind of the trope that they were going for,
I'll
right?
look it up real quick, yeah.
That is the trope they were going for. I remember that movie too. It was a Disney Channel original.
There was a bunch of them, and they sucked.
Oh, it was a bad movie. I think I liked it when I was a kid. But
they came out too late for me. I was already into like actual comic books, kind of.
This story, well, it's the same story, but the show actually starts out with 2 of my favorite villains, the Mauler twins, actually attacking
Up and Away.
Up and Away. Yeah.
Oh, and then there was like a whole spin-off series.
But it starts off with the Mauler twins, who are 2 of my favorite villains throughout the story.
They're awesome
because they're fucking hilarious,
and they're voiced by I forget his name, but he's super iconic.
Yeah.
Like everyone will recognize that guy's voice. He's been in every.
He's a very popular voice actor.
Comic book show ever.
But they're 2 clones that for the life of them they can't remember which one's the clone and which one's the original.
It's fucking
and it's a
such
funny,
a good dynamic.
Yeah, it's a funny dynamic that goes on throughout the series because
multiple
Mauler twins die throughout the series. Then,
we already saw one die.
Yeah, we do. Later on, we do. And the one that exists clones another, and they go through the same thing over and over and over again. Like, I'm the real one.
That's exactly what I want to see.
And it's fucking hilarious.
This show. It's not One Punch Man, but it's like the American One Punch Man. I mean,
honestly, before we get, you know what? This isn't going to come to play till later.
They're just
later
willing
down the line.
To crack
but
jokes.
If you guys want to get in the comments, you know what? The Omni-Man, Nolan Grayson, Mark's dad, has a striking similarity. I talked to you about this earlier, but don't spoil. Striking similarity to a certain anime character. If you guys can guess it, please get in the comments. I'd love to entertain your guesses. And if you haven't,
is it J. Jonah Jameson?
Yeah,
from the Daily Press.
The Daily Bugle.
Oh, Daily Bugle.
That's who it is. No, a certain popular anime character we all know and love, backstory and abilities and all. Mm-hmm. So that'll come into play later, and I'd love to see if you guys want to try to guess that because we can keep working on that.
Well, he is similar to Superman. And without spoiling it for people that want to comment on this.
Not an anime character.
Yeah.
So that isn't a spoiler.
Actually, no, I'm not. Because
why don't we just leave that one alone? So the Mauler twins attack the White House, and they're stopped by the Guardians of the Globe, which is really cool. Because usually, I believe in the book, I'd have to reread chapter 1. I don't think you really get to see the Guardians of the Globe until it's like the end of the Guardians of the Globe, but. They're like your take on like the Justice League, right?
I'm gonna try to mix in as much content from the cartoon and the comic book as I can.
Yeah, please
in this video, so we can get a good contrast of these scenes we're talking about here.
Yeah, please do.
Nice. Yeah,
and so they're like your spoof on the Justice League, and they're thwarting off the Mauler twins. Then Omni-Man, the quote unquote superhero of the universe, comes and helps them out, saves the day. And I felt like that was a really cool way to get introduced to this, because you're really introduced in the book to Omni-Man as Mark's dad that has superpowers, but you don't really get to see that Superman-esque scene of him being the perfect hero, so to speak.
Yeah. No, and I think the one thing I want to add about him and J.K. Simmons casting with him is just that throughout episode 1, I was going to say, I don't know how I feel about J.K. Simmons as his dad, because he's got this dark side to the way he talks at all fucking times. And that's what makes J.K. Simmons such a good actor, and I love him and everything.
But
And
now
then it
you
is
know,
revealed at the end of episode 1 that
yeah,
he was
and-
very well cast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I was gonna say, if he's gonna end up a typical comic book dad, good guy, superhero, I don't know how I feel about J.K. Simmons. This
Yeah.
but that's very obviously not the fucking case at all.
So
yeah, he's
then
great. I mean,
after the
cast
scene-
in this show is fucking fantastic.
it really is.
It's
after the scene.
I'm looking
where,
at this right now. Walton Goggins is in it. I didn't
they're
even know
deep.
about that shit.
They're
man.
deep.
Yeah.
After we
Super deep.
after we get past the scene of them saving the White House, we flash forward to Omni-Man's son, Nolan Grayson's son, Mark Grayson.
Yeah.
Who does not have his powers yet.
Wasn't a
And
fan at first.
This is where the comic
Huge
book.
fan after like 10 minutes.
This is where the comic book begins, right? He doesn't have his powers. He's going to school. He's working at Burger Shack or whatever it's called.
His personality is very, very Spider-Man-esque.
Very. It's
Like-
very. It's very a lot of, basic superhero as
Human Torch, Spider-Man,
Yeah.
your typical sarcastic
but
superhero.
Yeah, very quirky.
Yeah.
But he does not have his powers yet, and he has a conversation with his dad where he's like, "You're not just a regular superhero. You're a Viltrumite." Wink, wink. That should give you a hint as to the anime character I'm referring to. But he's a Viltrumite that comes from a planet far away of Viltrum, and they are a alien species that resemble humans but have superhuman strength. Just different abilities, right? They age slower. They can fly. A lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So he's telling him usually around the 18th birthday or a little bit before is when Viltrumites gain their full power. So
Well, he was late. He said puberty.
did he say puberty?
Yeah, because he gave him that talk when they were.
Oh
when he
yeah,
was
that's right. The
really young.
flashback.
Yeah,
So
so
no,
he
no,
was late. His dad was like ready for him to just be a normal kid, and then he was not happy when Mark got his powers, because I'm sure there's other motivations for that. But what he told his wife is that he was just mentally prepared for him to be a normal kid, and then he turned out to be
But then he does get his powers, right?
Yeah.
So he's taking out the garbage.
He's taking out the garbage, and then he like goes to throw a bag of garbage in the garbage can and just like yeets it into the fucking
launches
atmosphere.
that shit. And that is straight out of the comic book. He just fucking launches that shit into the atmosphere.
I think I got my powers.
Yeah, he's like, about time. That line straight out of the comic book. I loved it.
Yeah, it was.
So
dope.
that's cool. So
I
then-
will say, I think they could have done a better job with his like training montage. It seemed like he just kind of all of a sudden got his fucking powers down.
You know what? I'm not a big fan of the whole training montage,
Yeah,
I can infer.
I like a good training montage
Do
if
you?
it's proper. Yeah,
Uh,
like a Dr. Stone training montage.
that ain't really a training montage, though.
Sometimes.
Well, let's agree to disagree on that
All right,
one.
fine.
But
I just like the establishment that like some work has been done.
so back
get
to what you
where
were
they're
saying,
going.
though. Omni-Man. So then Omni-Man begins to train Mark, and we start seeing what you were alluding to: the signs of a darker person, right?
Yeah.
He fucking caves his chest in when he
Yeah.
punches him. It just blows his shit in. And you're like, oh, okay, hold up. would Superman do that? Like, would a
Yeah,
nice
right.
guy do that?
I mean,
Probably not, right?
he
that
who
mean
shall
he's-
not be named right now would.
Yeah, you're right. He who shall not be named Voldemort. But, so you're starting to see a little bit. Then you also see another mean streak to him where he kind of snaps on his wife a little bit. He's like, you talking back to me?
Yeah.
That kind of like freaks out. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
He's not your typical.
I mean, all of this stuff is like excusable character shit. Like, this guy's got to deal with the problems of the universe, so he's stressed. Whatever. But it's J.K. Simmons reading these lines, so it's like
But yeah, you go
extra
through.
intense.
You go through a lot of fun scenes like them tossing the fucking ball across the universe
Yeah.
to play catch.
The
and-
nerd in me hated that one, but it was
Here's,
that was
here's
fucking
one thing
hilarious,
that I
actually.
did realize that was
They
different.
just
in
throw a ball around.
different in
him
the
and
comic book. If you did read the comic book, obviously you know that his best friend William is gay, right? But the funny part, I don't know. I think it's going to add for more humor that they revealed that fact in episode 1. Now I think it will make, because he's already been funny so far in the show. But like that part where they reveal it in the comic book is just so hilarious because like there were so many signs, and then like him asking Mark to take him flying, and like this is so fun.
Yeah.
And then like in like the middle of the series, he's just like, yeah, I'm gay. And it's just like, yeah, we know. Like,
I know
But-
I know exactly where that comes from. It's the fact that the the like secret gay guy funny heel moment reveal is like super cliche at this point.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're gonna do that in this day and age, you should probably just like paint this guy as a good fucking friend first and foremost, and like also
fair.
a gay dude, instead of like, oh, big funny moment halfway through the show.
So
Turns out this dude's been like secretly doing weird
Yeah.
sexual shit with people the
Yeah.
entire show.
Nah, I hear you.
No, and like there's enough of that out there. I
I hear you. So Mark,
So I don't mind it. It's
Mark's
fine.
dad takes him, or well, actually, I should say Mark starts fighting crime on his own while still trying to master his powers.
Yeah.
And he's doing okay. He's causing a lot of collateral damage.
Yeah.
His dad sees him, tells him he doesn't think he's ready. Mark kind of pleads with him. You get that touchy-feely moment. And then he's like, well, if you're going to do it, you can't be out here looking like this. Because he's out here looking like Spider-Man did in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man when he was a cage
Yeah,
fighter.
hell yeah.
He had
I
the-
thought he looked kind of cool.
Hell nah. He had the hoodie mask on and shit, looking
Yeah.
bummy as fuck.
They also had a cool kick-ass reference.
Should I be ass kicker?
Yeah.
It's like,
as he's
nah.
dressed in this shitty
Yeah,
homemade
he's like,
costume.
nah, that sounds too childish or something like that.
Yeah.
So then his dad takes him to go get a professional costume. And that's the cool part, right? I think his name was, forget his name, Artie, I think maybe. And he's got the tailor shop. It's like typical old school, almost like Kingsman-esque.
Oh,
like,
that's Art?
Art.
Yeah, that's fucking Mark Hamill.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Art is Mark Hamill.
Art Rosenbaum.
There's a good reason I liked him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, may the force be with you. But,
Jillian Jacobs is Eve.
he's
Sorry,
got like
I'm getting too deep.
No,
in
it's
this
okay.
cast right now.
He has got like the secret like costume making.
I knew I recognized your voice. Community. Oh my god. Yeah.
What's
sorry.
what's
Everyone in
what's-
this show's been on
what's
Community.
costume lady's name from The Incredibles?
Oh my god. She's
Edna?
the fuck.
Edna?
Yes, Edna.
Edna.
She's the best character.
So like
in the
it was
whole
like sort of
fucking
like that
series.
thing where she's just like, oh yeah, on the side,
my hoe.
I make superhero costumes
come with
for
me."
like the most powerful superheroes.
We don't make
low-key.
capes because
So Art just brings him down into his lair, and he's got like costumes, and he shows one to Mark, and Mark's like, he's not really feeling it, right? Because it's
Yeah.
not him. He's like, damn, can't blame a guy for trying to get rid of an old costume. But he's like, well, it's hard to do this sort of thing. Do you have a name yet? And Mark's like, no, I don't have a name. So why don't you come up with one, get back to me, and I'll have something to go on. And here's another big difference, and this is the only difference from the comic book that I didn't quite like, that Mark got his name from his dad saying,
you're invincible.
you're
now.
invincible, when in the comic book it has a little bit more meaning, where in the
Oh.
comic book he's defending people from bullies at school. And at one point, I believe it's the principal that comes up, it could be a teacher, that comes up to him and is like, yeah, he's like, it's kind of like in a cynical way. He's like, people get picked on every day in life. Maybe you save one, but you're not going to be able to save everybody. You're not invincible. And then he's like,
See, that's
my
actually
name.
cool because the dad thing was kind of deep.
It was, but this
It wasn't
was,
that deep.
I
though.
feel like this had
No,
more
that's
meaning,
better. I thought it was good though.
because like you're right. Maybe you can't save everybody, but I'm going to try. I'm invincible.
As someone that hasn't read the comic books, they did a good job with
Okay.
the name
So
being bestowed from his dad.
now let's get to final scene.
oh god.
The fucking Guardians of the Globe
When
get
you realize
goddamn slaughtered.
this is not
which-
anime. This is not a
All right,
DC show.
So yo, I'm just gonna
This
tell
is
you guys
not a
this straight
Marvel
up.
show.
As somebody who
Because it's animated exactly like a DC
Oh
show.
man, this shit. Yeah, it does
It
look like
looks
it.
like
Well,
it.
let's talk about that real quick. The animation was beautiful.
Great.
I'm not gonna say animated like a DC
This is
show.
on HBO, right?
I'm gonna say, no, this is Hulu, I think.
They're flexing their budget.
Yeah.
They flex their budget.
All I'm gonna say is
they have cool.
I think
like,
you're right.
3D
I
panning.
think you're right as far as
huge
character
punches and shit.
character design being like a DC
Oh,
show.
yeah.
This
and
is
just the
animated
art
12
style.
times better.
The art style.
Animation, yeah, art style just
Yeah.
like a DC show, but
The animation is like a DC movie. It's like
it's better. Animation's
might be
anime
better.
level.
It's-
Animation's anime level.
yeah.
It's not top tier anime level.
No.
But it's anime level.
But top tier anime, we were just talking about this.
No, it's
These
not
are
One
artists
Punch Man season
killing
1.
themselves
Yeah,
just to
it's
put
not,
out the best
it's
shit
not,
that's ever been
It's
made.
not that level, but it's fucking. I think it's a good.
Well,
I think it's a good anime level fucking animation.
that's a level of dedication to your craft that we cannot expect from Western people.
No, you can't. You're absolutely right. I couldn't agree with you more. But I think we can agree that the animation.
And I don't think anyone should expect that. I think you should get paid.
No, I still do. I want it.
I think if you're gonna put that
I like
work
both.
in,
I like
these guys
West,
should
I
be
like
getting
Western
paid.
comic books and I like
But at
manga.
I think these animators should get paid
Can we
millions.
agree on
Sorry,
this?
Sorry, I'm
Can
getting
we,
off
No,
topic.
you're okay. Can we agree on this? The animation is beautiful.
Oh, it's great. It's fucking gorgeous. Yeah.
All right. Now,
Any chance they get to flex, they do, which is dope. I
now
love that.
Drew, let's get to the final scene.
Yeah.
Omni-Man slays the Guardians of the Globe.
When do we realize this is not?
Before I let you
Your
talk,
mom's
I'm gonna
fucking-
let you go off because I'm really interested to hear how you feel about it because you haven't read it.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
tell you as a guy who's read it, and it was fucking intense reading it.
I'm sure.
Bro, watching it was some whole other shit.
Oh my God.
Drew, how did that make you feel?
I mean, it's like super obvious he comes in like out for blood, but you think because you've seen shows like this before, your brain tells you that they're going to talk things out. You know, he's going to explain why he's there to kill everyone. Everyone's going to make a final stand and there's going to be some sort of like resolution. And then he just squishes the Flash's face and his brains explode out of his fucking eye sockets. And then he just murders everyone viciously, which was like the most riveting moment in all 3 episodes by a huge amount. And like I said, my favorite thing, my least favorite thing in superhero shows, and it's super understandable, it's because these are made for kids. It's like you can't show blood and guts. You can't show a million fucking people dying.
Yeah.
So now that this is TVMA, it's on Hulu, no one gives a shit. This is made for adult comic book fans.
Yeah.
They're like every time
Or,
they can,
mind you-
they show the consequences of these things.
Yes.
So like people invade and like you see civilians getting blown
Bro,
to
we're
fucking
seeing
bits
fucking-
all over the place,
All right.
and it's like
The one thing I'll
wow,
say
this
before
is
I get
like
into
you
the
actually see the
before I get into
consequences
the
of
depth,
a superhero
before I get into the
battle here.
depth of the graphicness of that scene.
Oh yeah,
Let me just
dude, every single person has
so
a
graphic.
brutal fucking death.
But let me
Brutal,
Let me
like-
put into perspective. Having read the whole series, let me
Yeah,
put this in perspective. This is a very bloody and gory comic book.
I love it.
It gets so much worse. But
The reason behind it is so just. It's like
Yeah.
you're not just gratuitous violence. It's like
it's not.
no one's ever done this in a comic book show.
Well,
So like we're gonna
thank
do
you
it.
for saying that. It's not gratuitous
We're
to
gonna
be
do it.
gratuitous.
Yeah.
It goes on the whole thing I was saying. Like it's a war on all of the basic, you
Yeah.
know, comic book tropes.
Well, like yo,
and then
make-
it's its own great story in its own right.
dude,
So-
turn that. If you take that camera from like Avengers: Age of Ultron and like turn it around a little bit, and like actually show the fucking carnage. Like there's dead
Captain America just
horrible,
fucking-
just strewn
Captain
apart
America just
bodies
curb
all throughout the
stomping
right.
somebody's
Yeah,
fucking
bro.
head.
Like there's horrifically mangled corpses all over the place.
Bro,
that you just can't
Omni-Man
see.
was fucking crushing
Like Superman versus Man of
skulls.
Steel, bro. When he's fighting Zed, dude, they destroy a whole city. Like millions of
Yeah,
fucking people die.
But you don't get to see
no,
it, right?
exactly.
Omni-Man was crushing people's skulls, eyeballs
Yeah.
popping out, brain matter just flying everywhere.
Yeah.
It was fucking
Another one of my
brutal.
favorite anti comic book things that happens is the kid, the first person he really cares about that he saves, and their like grave injuries are caused by him trying to save them. She ends up fucking dying, and like he has to just deal with that
Yeah.
as a thing instead of like, you know,
Yeah.
saving the person. Yeah.
So, Drew, before-
what comic book's
Okay,
gonna
go on.
kill off an old lady?
Yeah. Oh, seriously, right? You love it. And
Like
it
an
gives-
innocent old lady.
Yeah,
that
but
you
you
tried
need,
to save.
You need stakes because then you get to
Yes.
see how that affects you, right?
Yeah,
It's
the
like-
kid is torn up. The
Because
kid is
you have that,
not okay.
you have that in
Like,
comic
yeah.
books where they let a person die, but no, you get to see her fucking battered,
Yeah.
bloody, broken, brought
Yes.
in, like, and he's there crying. It's.
I mean,
tough.
I will give Marvel in Endgame. They touched on it a little bit with the Green Arrow.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
or not the Green Arrow, what's
especially
his fucking
DC.
name?
There's-
Hawkeye.
Yeah,
But Hawkeye had his like serial killer moment where he's just fucking he's out for revenge.
yeah, but come on.
yeah, it's overdone. It's cheesy.
What he's-
you don't
what he's-
actually
yeah,
see
what
any
he
blood
say?
and
What he
gore.
say?
It's fucking
Don't do that.
No, it's
don't
stupid.
give me hope. Oh, shut the fuck
give
up.
me hope.
Yeah, stop.
You're allowed to say that if you're the fucking Punisher, and I just saw you
Yeah,
curb
if
stomp
you're,
on someone's
if you're
fucking.
not Hawkeye, like,
Yeah.
bro, stop.
Did you just curb stomp a child? Like,
But
and then like
all right.
pull out your locket?
I'm gonna
of your dead
ask
kids
you
and wife?
first before I go because, like I said, as a new viewer, I think it's more important actually to our viewers that maybe haven't read the comic book. If you had to, what did you think about the episode in a quick summary, and if you had to give it a rating out of 10, because I'm gonna rate it 2.
Hold on, before we do that, is that on?
I hope so. Let's not turn towards me.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, episode 1 starts like any other superhero show you would expect to be drawn in that vein of shows. Pretty typical for the most part, but you do get these cool like character bits that you don't get from shows like that, where like the guards are talking about their kids, having this weird, deep conversation for no reason right off the bat, and then all of a sudden carnage happens around them, and then like what's his name? Mark is in the bathroom taking a shit in the morning, and his mom just like opens the door, and she's like, "I'm out of soap," like, and they have this weird argument. It's like you don't see shit like that in comic book shows, so that was cool already. So before the ending, I'm already at like an 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, because it's just unique and it's having cool moments and stuff like that. Like there's more character depth.
How about after the ending?
And then shit just goes completely left, and it's just like the possibilities are
I wish
endless.
you guys could have been here to feel the air when he was watching it. Drew was just like, "What?
Oh shit!"
Because I knew it was coming. I was like. I think I show it this episode or start the next episode with it. Then they have the credits. I'm like, you wait till next episode. Then boom, post credits. I see everybody getting the alert. I'm like, oh shit, shit.
I knew something was about to happen. Like, but you think like the villain's gonna reveal himself, and he kind of fucking does. But like, you don't know who the villain is now, and like everyone's dead, and it's just like just absolute chaos. And, like,
well, after the first like moment. Because, like, I can only imagine how I'd feel if I hadn't seen it before. And I'm like, all right, somebody's going to save the day. Somebody's going to save the day.
Yes.
And then just head crush.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's exactly what I just was talking about, is that you think, like, your brain tells you this is going to resolve itself somehow. Like, he's going to cave and, like, explain why he's there. It's some desperate situation. And, like, he's not going to have the power to just kill everyone brutally. And then all of a sudden... him and fucking the Flash are just like in this standstill where he's grabbing his head. I know he's not the Flash, but it's the Flash.
It's the Flash.
Yeah. And he's just squeezing his head, and the Flash is punching him, and then you realize like, oh shit, like
he's dying.
Yeah, like blood starts squirting out of his fucking nose and shit, and then it's like, oh my god, and then his head explodes. Like it just his brains start flying all over.
Yeah, at that moment you knew shit was
like,
fucking.
What the fuck? And then who gets it next? I think it's the Batman that's not Darkwing.
He got just fucking
tossed straight into the ground, and his head explodes. And then I think the most brutal one, though, other than the Flash was the worst one, was the Wonder Woman, whatever her name is.
Snapped her fucking whole head around.
Dude, she like tries to like plead with him for a second. And he, like, has this moment where you see, like, some humanity flash in his eyes, and then he just fucking spins her head around 180 degrees. And she, like,
vomits blood
is looking directly into the camera, falls to her knees, and then vomits blood out.
Dude, it's fucked.
Oh, my God. And then that takes it literally to, like, a 9.5. Like
9.5?
Yeah, that's the best episode of any comic book show I've ever watched.
That's a great rating.
Like, so much is not even... Dude, like, I think the second best episode of any comic book show I've ever watched is, like, in my opinion, like, Batman Beyond.
Hey, or even just Batman the Animated Series. The original was fucking fire.
Batman Beyond was my shit as a kid.
I loved
it, too. There's a couple of the major fights that he had. Or, like, Teen Titans when they fight Slade.
Ooh man, big Teen Titans.
But those are, like, the climaxes of those shows. Like, this was episode fucking
yeah, it's the first episode, man. It's a great book.
What a great, like, what a fucking great opening.
If I had to rate it myself,
like,
I'm gonna be right up there with him.
Know.
I'm gonna go with a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say 9 and not 10 is just because of the one difference that I didn't so much like. There's multiple differences from the comic book. All of them I was okay with. The one I didn't quite like was the way he got his name. That was the one thing I was like, don't know how I felt about that.
See, I'm telling you, as a guy that hasn't read the comic book, it was good. Like, it was good enough.
That might be
His
a
dad
nitpick.
handed that down to him.
That might be a nitpick.
Yeah.
So I'm just going. It's still a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Fucking great.
Let's move on to episode 2.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
Hey guys, so we had to switch locations after we finished filming our review for Invincible episode 1. So I just decided to make it easier for everyone, I'd throw our review for episode 2 and 3 in its own separate video. That'll be up around the same time as this, so if you're watching this, it should be right here. Peace.